So what is up, guys? Today is day 2 of my Model 3 ownership. Today I'm getting the windows tinted. If that is something that interests you, then please keep watching. Hi, so as I say, it is day 2 of our Tesla Model 3 ownership, and first kind of minor problem we've had today is our pod point charger did not charge last night, unfortunately. So I've been on the phone to them this morning, and they said they'll get someone out to check it out. So that was a little bit unfortunate, so I'll have to make sure I can make it to the Supercharger today.
And to stay on A406.
Just let the navigation speak. So I'll have to make it to the Supercharger today, and we'll get to try that out as well. I am on the way to get my rear windows tinted with a place called Auto Asylum in Maidenhead. Never used them before, I don't know them. It's just a recommendation from a fellow Tesla owner who has used them, and hopefully if they do a good job I'll be able to recommend them. The reason why I did choose this one, which is a little bit further out for me, is one of very few places who said they would do a full rear tint. Most places they're only really set up to, when I say set up, they only really have the materials to do a half tint, because that rear window is big. Some places said they would measure it and order in a bigger piece if they need to. That just didn't give me the confidence that they had done it before. This place, a guy named Paul, he called me back straight after my email and went through all the options with me. Said he would be happy to do a full tint. He did recommend that I do a half tint, which is the most of the tints that he has done have been half tints. So that was a little bit of a debate for me, my missus. Do we go for a full tint or a half tint?
Right to take Sterling Way.
I decided to go with a full just because it looks a bit more factory fitted. I just don't like that black strip in the middle. If you get a half tint, you can see the back here at the moment. Balanced against the fact I didn't want it to be too dark. You know, we've got 2 kids, and one of the great things about the car is the great sunroof. So I wanted them to be able to enjoy the sunroof, so I didn't necessarily want to go too dark as well. So what we have decided for is, at least at the moment until I get there, is 18 on the sides, the rear sides, and 35% at the back. Initially I went with 35 on the rear and 50 on the back. But speaking to Paul on the phone at Tint Asylum, he thought 50% wasn't really enough of a tint to have any noticeable difference, at least from the outside looking in. Privacy is a concern. I wanted it to be dark enough to have a bit of privacy for the rear passengers as well. So for that reason, I've gone 80 on the sides and 35 on the back. I might do a light smoke or something with some UV protection on the front windows, but keep it within kind of legal. Keep it street legal. I'm more concerned about the back, but I do want to go with a white and black look. So if I can get that little bit of a darker look on the outside, that would be nice. The type of tint they use at Tint Asylum is it was Suntech Carbon, and it's a non-metallic tint. And I've specifically, when I've called up, I've asked for a non-metallic tint because any metal in your tint can interfere with the radio signals in the car, and obviously, because the Tesla is got a SIM card and it needs to always be communicating, that was more important now than it was before. But everyone I've spoke to seems to be using a non-metallic tint anyway. I didn't bother asking for a more expensive ceramic tint, and everyone's kind of talked me out of it anyway, before it's even got as far as getting a quote, as apparently it can be expensive and we don't get the weather for it in the UK. So the pricing he's given me is 200 for the rear side windows, 90 for the large rear window, and another 100 if he does the front sides. So just going back to that question about half tint or full tint, if you're kind of caught between two minds. One thing I would say is from a driver's point of view. So I was thinking, sorry, truck cutting in. So I was thinking about it more from the rear passenger's point of view and their experience, and I didn't want to have that horrible line in between a little bit. But in hindsight, they probably wouldn't see it because it would be behind their head. And from the driver's point of view, at least, when you look in the rear view mirror, it's probably just going to be the top of it that you see. Possibly not even see it. My rear view mirror at the moment is set up to not even see the natural gradient that the car has at the back. It's just the clear portion of the rear view. I would have liked to have seen a car that had a half tint done and then decide, but unfortunately I hadn't have that opportunity. So it's not completely undoable, and it's not a ridiculous amount of money just for that rear window. So I can always change my mind if it doesn't look good. So that's that. So if you are thinking of buying a Tesla and you haven't placed that order already, I hope my videos can help you make a decision. Do make sure you use a reservation code from another Tesla owner. It doesn't have to be me, it could be a friend and family. I recommend it's a friend and family, you help them out. But if you don't know anyone who already owns a Tesla, it would do me, it would be a great help to me if you use my reservation code. And what that does, it gives you a 3,000 Supercharger miles, and it gives me 3,000 Supercharger miles. So everyone wins. So I did ask Paul over at Tint Asylum if I could film the inside of his studio and film him during the tint process, but unfortunately he wasn't too keen on that. He's been in the trade for a while and he preferred to keep his trade secret, and that's fair enough. So I won't get to film the actual tint process, but I'll give you a follow-up after and what the car looks like, and we'll have a look at the differences.
Now your destination is on the right.
It is not on the right. Unless I missed it and it was on the left. Alright, I think I've figured it out. It was my mistake. Reading the address properly in full. It says pull into Altwood Bailey, which is where I'm pulling it now, and the first right turn. Which is this one. Marasancina. So I'm gonna have to get out and give him a ring on the buzzer. Alright, all good. As I say, I am gonna switch the camera off now, as he doesn't want me to film. But it looks like he does it at a private residence. What's up guys, I am all done with the tint, and I must correct an earlier mistake. The name of the place is Auto Asylum, not Tint Asylum, as I called it. Tint is done. It took about 4.5 hours, and that's including the fronts. And overall, actually, he did a great job. He did it on his own. It's quite impressive the fact that he was able to do the rear screen on his own, and he's done a smashing job. You can see what it looks like here, and I'm happy with the level of tint that I went with. Kind of ticked all the boxes of what I wanted. It's not too dark from the inside, as you can see. Still, you can clearly enjoy that sunroof when you're sitting at the back. But equally from the outside, it's dark enough that it has that nice black and white contrast, and enough of a UV protection. It's getting dark now by the time I get home, so it's probably going to be dark, so I'll take some photos, videos in the morning and let you see how it looks.